Ever spent 10 minutes rewriting a 5-word text? Or replayed a convo in your head like it was the movie? Yeah, your brain's got a full-time PR department and it's running overtime. But here's the truth. The person you're obsessing about, they're too busy wondering if you notice their weird laugh. So why do we care so much what other people think, even when we know they're not thinking about us? Caring what people think isn't some fringe neurosis. It's not reserved for insecure teens, anxious artists, or that one coworker who apologizes for existing. It's everyone. Most people admit they overanalyze social interactions, replaying convos, reading between silences, and decoding emoji usage like it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. The rest? Probably just lying to seem chill, which ironically proves the point. We crave approval like it's oxygen. We laugh at jokes we don't get, nod like we totally grasped the symbolism in that new A24 movie with no dialogue and one interpretive dance fight scene. We say interesting when we mean please stop talking. We mirror people's posture, opinions, even Spotify playlists just to stay in sync. We've all survived dinners and dates that felt less like human interaction and more like trying out for The Bachelor. But let's ask the question lurking under all that social shape-shifting. Why does your brain throw a panic party when someone raises an eyebrow at your outfit? Why does a tiny, invisible flicker of rejection hit like a sucker punch to the soul? Why does it feel like social embarrassment is a legitimate medical emergency? Because once upon a time, awkwardness could get you killed. Not emotionally. Literally. Exile meant cold nights, no snacks, and predators who didn't care how weird your laugh was. And even though we now live in climate-controlled apartments and can DoorDash, your brain still thinks it's wandering in the wilderness, one awkward silence away from exile. Our ancestors didn't survive alone. You needed the tribe to find food, fend off danger, and, crucially, not get eaten by something with too many teeth. Exile wasn't a social inconvenience, it was a death sentence. You were a one misstep away from becoming a protein shake for wolves. That's why your brain evolved to treat social belonging not as a nice to have, but as a must or die. And here's where things get wild. Modern neuroscience shows that social rejection activates the same brain regions as actual physical pain. Get ghosted, your anterior cingulate cortex lights up like you just slammed your hand in a car door. That gut punch from being left out, that's not just a figure of speech, it's neural reality. Your brain doesn't distinguish between "they didn't invite me" and "I stepped on a Lego barefoot." Both are treated as threats to survival. Then throw in the spotlight effect, that ego-fueled software bug where we assume we're everyone's main character. You trip on the sidewalk and assume 10 people saw, judged, and texted a group chat about it. Now, add the illusion of transparency, where it feels like your inner panic is being streamed on Twitch with commentary and a live chat roasting your every blink. And just to keep the party going, the brain's default mode network kicks in whenever you're not actively distracted, replaying every awkward moment in ultra slow-mo, like a shame-based highlight reel. So yes, you know most people probably didn't notice your weird laugh, your accidental spit take, or the fact that you waved at someone who wasn't waving at you. But knowing it doesn't stop the feeling, because your brain's running survival software written 100,000 years ago. So, if we know this stuff is irrational, if we get the glitch, why does it still run the show? Because your brain is secretly playing a game of Survivor, except the prize is not getting rejected by the group. Back in the day, status meant resources, protection, maybe a cute cave mate, while low status, fewer berries, zero attention, and maybe a lonely death in the mud. Today, we're not hunting food, but we are hunting validation. Social media turns status into a dopamine casino. Likes, views, comments. They're not just feedback, they're survival pings. So your brain scans every social cue like it's tribal council night and you're about to be voted off. But here's the twist. Everyone's doing this at the same time. Your brain's not built for happiness, it's built for survival. And back in the day, being awkward could get you kicked out of the group. and straight into danger. Even today, it's still running ancient survival code in a modern world. You can't turn off the anxiety, but you can recognize it. It's not reality. It's just your brain hitting a false alarm. That's what awareness does. It lets you step back and say, oh, that's just my brain being dramatic again. So next time you're spiraling about what someone might be thinking, remember, they're probably spiraling too. You do that because your ancient brain thinks being awkward means getting eaten by wolves. Subscribe, Brain Said So.